Welcome to the English version of our flight simulator lesson, how to do an automatic landing with the ILS system. First of all, we have to gather some information. To get that information, click on the symbol, which is located on the 2D panels of your aircraft. We will get this map. Now click on the airport. In our example, we use the Hanover Airport in Germany. As you have noticed, this is a German version of the Microsoft Flight Simulator X. But the things you have to do in the English version are identical. We now see information about runway type, runway name and direction, the length of the runway, the exact heading of the runway in degrees, and the according ILS frequencies. The frequencies we got from the map are tuned in on the radios. On nav 1 is the ILS frequency of runway 27 right in Hanover. And on nav 2 the Hanover VOR, which gives us the distance. How to handle the radios is explained in our forum. You're welcome to join us there. It is German and English spoken. Let's get to practice. Our aircraft is turning right to a heading of 210 degrees. Auto thrust is on and the speed button is active, as well as heading select, altitude hold, and of course the autopilot command switch. The heading is tuned here and we adjust the speed to 200 knots. Now the altitude is changed to 3000 feet on the autopilot. The airplane descends to the height. Engage the approach function by clicking on the APP button. The navigation display must be switched here to APP to get the ILS aids displayed. Flaps are set to 1. We now change the heading with this bug to 225. That gives us an angle of about 45 degrees towards the 27 right ILS localizer beam. Set flaps to 2. Reduce speed to 180 knots with the speed bug. The autopilot reacts accordingly. We are now flying at 3000 feet just before turning into final. Speed is now 180 and flaps are set to 5. As soon as the autopilot intercepts the localizer, the approach function cancels the heading select mode and turns to final. The magenta colored bar in the navigation display slowly moves towards center, meaning we are on the ILS localizer beam. Now flaps 10 and speed reduced to 170 knots. We are about to reach the glide slope, and altitude hold is also cancelled by the autopilot's approach function. The airplane is now descending on the glide slope and steers itself on the localizer beam towards the center line of the runway. Now put the gear down. Speed is reduced further to 160 knots. Flaps are set to 15 degrees. The gear is down and we have 3 greens. Five miles to go. Now full flaps are set. Speed should be set to 145 knots, our final approach speed. Now as the airplane is in a stable approach configuration, it is most important to switch off the auto thrust function. Set the auto brakes on level 2. Touchdown. At this time several things have to be done. Use the speed brakes by pressing the / key. Disengage the autopilot with Z and engage reverse thrust by holding the F2 key. Don't forget to turn off reverse thrust with F1 at about 60 knots. The aircraft comes to a halt by the auto brakes. Here we are, and it was a nice landing. We tracked speed brakes and flaps and taxied to the gate. I hope my English wasn't too bad. Bye bye, until next time.